silence feels like nothing. No sound, no movement, no interruption. We think of silence as the absence of experience, as an empty space where nothing happens. But silence is not empty. Even in the quietest room you can find, even in places designed to remove all sound, silence never truly exists. What you experience as silence is something your mind actively creates. And the unsettling part is not that sound is still present. It's that your brain decides what you are allowed to hear. When people talk about silence, they usually mean relief, a pause, a break, a moment without intrusion. Silence feels like rest. We imagine it as a clean slate, a blank background where nothing competes for attention. But that idea hides an assumption. It assumes that hearing works like a switch, that when sound stops, perception simply turns off. That assumption feels obvious, but it isn't true. Hearing doesn't wait passively for sound. It never has. Your auditory system is always active, always scanning, always interpreting, which means silence is not the absence of sound. It's a decision. In the middle of the 20th century, engineers began building rooms designed to absorb sound completely. They were called anechoic chambers, rooms so quiet that sound waves don't bounce back, no echoes, no reverberation, no reflection. People expected calm. What they experienced instead was discomfort. Some people heard ringing. Others heard their heartbeat, their breathing, the subtle movement of their joints. Many could not stay inside for long. Not because the room was loud, but because it was too quiet. When external sound disappears, the brain does not fall silent. It turns inward. Your auditory system did not evolve for peace. It evolved for detection. A footstep behind you, a branch snapping, a sudden change in tone. Silence removes those signals, and when the brain receives no external input, it doesn't shut down. It fills the gap. Internal signals become louder. Electrical activity, blood flow, neural noise you normally never notice. This is why silence can feel overwhelming, not because the world is making noise, but because you are. The quieter the environment becomes, the more noticeable you become to yourself. When you say, "I can't hear anything," what you usually mean is something else. You mean, "I'm not aware of anything unusual." Your brain is constantly filtering sound. Air conditioners fade away. Traffic dissolves into background texture. Clocks stop ticking. These sounds don't disappear. They are ignored. Silence is not a property of the world. It's a state of attention. Your brain decides what counts as nothing. And once something becomes familiar enough, it vanishes from experience. Not because it stopped, but because it no longer matters. Silence exposes something uncomfortable. Experience is never passive. Even when nothing seems to be happening, your mind is still working, still sorting, still filtering, still shaping what you perceive. The absence of sound is not emptiness. It's construction. Your brain creates silence the same way it creates motion, continuity, and meaning. Quietly, automatically, without asking permission. And once you notice this, silence stops feeling like a void. It becomes a mirror. You don't experience silence because the world goes quiet. You experience silence because your brain stops listening outward. The world never truly stops. Only your attention does. And that means silence is not the absence of sound. It's the moment your mind turns inward and reveals itself.